Hello, my name is John Thanos. I'm an assistant principal and the freshman administrator here at Chatfield Senior High School, and I wanted to share some information with you about how Chatfield Senior High is going to work during this school year, and some information that's just important to know overall about Chatfield Senior High School. This is our administration. You can reach out to these people in their different domains with any questions that you may have. Our principal is Mr. Chad Brewer. I am Mr. John Thanos, instructional admin and ninth grade administrator. Mr. Craig Auckland is our athletic director and 10th grade administrator. Mr. Jeff Stevens is our scheduler and 11th grade administrator. Mrs. Corey Hitchens is our activities director and 12th grade administrator. And Mrs. Jessica Dixon is our dean that works with students with the last name A through L. Mrs. Sarah Bixler is our dean that works with students M through Z. If you have questions or concerns, you can reach out to those administrators. Their emails are at chargerpride.com. Counselors are listed here. Again, they're divided up by alphabet. If you are in last name A through DA, you work with Mr. Kevin Falk. Mrs. Brenda Rolling has DE through HR. Mr. David Byers has HU through MC. Mr. Nick Taylor has MI through SC, and Miss Samantha Dobson has SE through Z. Again, following those last names, and again, those communications are available on our website at charterpride.com. Here's some important information to know about the 2020-2021 school year. The first and most important thing to know is the Chatfield Senior High bell schedule. It's important to know that all students will be following this bell schedule, whether they are remote or whether they're engaging in hybrid learning. So all students will be engaging with their first period at 7:15 starting on Monday. This is a change from how things were done in the spring, but it is important to note that all students will be engaging with their classes, whether they're in person or whether they're at home, following this bell schedule. Here you can see a preview of the bell schedule. A reminder that students A through K will have their in-person days on Monday and Tuesday, while students with the last name L through Z will have their in-person learning on Wednesday and Thursday. You guys can see previewing here our burgundy and our silver class schedules. On Fridays, all students will be engaged in a charger day. You can follow this schedule. While engaging on charger days, students will all be expected to follow these schedules, whether they're engaged in asynchronous learning or whether they are engaging with their teachers in synchronous learning. Students should follow the bell schedule all 5 days of the week, and they should follow those class periods, whether they're in person or out of person. That is really our biggest change from how learning happened in the spring. All meals are going to be grab and go, so students will leave after their last class. Buses will leave at 1:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Thursday. Important things to understand about student schedules. All students have 6 classes. Some students, if they opted into it and they wanted to take an additional class, have a 7th class on their schedule. Most schedules will have 3 classes on a burgundy day and 3 classes on a silver day, in an effort to decrease exposure for students and to make things easier for students to navigate. Students will have an off hour that is normally in there to serve as their lunch period, but now it just works as an opportunity to balance student schedules and to allow for grab and go lunches before students leave campus. In order to get started with learning this year, you will check our community email before school starts, and you will see a document on there that looks like this. When looking at this document, and it will continue to be filled out as the week goes on and as we get closer to the start of school, and it'll be available for you to be able to refer to anytime that you may need it, you will see that for each of the teachers, there is the learning management system that they're going to be using. They will have a back to school video that you can click on and watch, and they will have a link for you to join their classes. So if I check on Infinite Campus, my class, I have Miss Barb during first hour. I should be able to click on this link and I'll be registered and assigned to her class on Google Classroom so that I can be ready to go on Monday morning and ready to learn. That will be coming again in our Friday communication right before school starts. Once schedules are released, students can begin to sign up for their different classes using their class codes in that document. Information will be posted in their Google Classrooms, and students will be ready to get started with class on Monday, August 24th. Important things to know about approaching student work. The backbone for how students will access work will be through their class learning management system. All teachers will be working their hardest to make sure that all their learning is accessible, whether a student is in front of them or if a student is remote. So it'll be important for students to be able to use their Chromebooks to navigate class and to follow what they're supposed to be doing in class. Students should log in into their learning management system whenever they have class. So if you have a first hour class, you should log in directly in the morning at 7:15 and look at your class. If you have a second hour class, you would move on at 8:50 and you would be ready to go in that class. So you should be engaged in that learning management system whenever you have class, whether you're in person or remote, and that is how you will access your work for that appropriate class period. Students will be expected to follow the bell schedule at all times, no matter where they are at, Monday through Friday. Here's a breakdown of how school will begin. The week of August 24th to the 28th, students will follow a normal weekly bell schedule for 100% remote learning. So you will follow your classes, you will log in at the assigned time while you're following that bell schedule, but you will just be engaging in remote learning during that week. The next week, during August 31st to September 4th, students will be engaged in orientation, but they'll continue to their learning in an asynchronous fashion. So you may have assignments that you need to complete after learning. The primary point of after you come to school for orientation, the primary point of orientation is to prepare for what in-person learning will look like. You'll see a schedule here. You will see that things are condensed. We will have buses run. It'll just be 45-minute class periods, but you will be able to practice how to enter the school building, how to get through to the different classes. You will get to meet your teachers in person for the first time and just understand how to exit the building. So you'll just understand how school is going to be working. So you'll see those 45-minute class periods. Primarily, on the second day, we have hour class periods, but shortened class periods. Students with the last name A through K will attend on Monday and a Burgundy Day on Monday, a Silver Day on Tuesday. Students with the last name L through Z will do a Burgundy Day on Wednesday and a Silver Day on Thursday. During that week, we will have an asynchronous Friday Charger Day for students to engage from home, just like we normally would. Then, starting on September 8th, students will engage in hybrid learning, the normal schedule that we follow with students A through K going on Tuesday and Wednesday, and students L through Z going on Thursday and Friday, a Burgundy Silver, Burgundy Silver. Feel free to check out all Chatfield social medias for further information and reminders on how those things will look, as well as our community emails that come out. Some important safety information to know for this school year. When you are engaging in in-person learning, our students that have opted into the hybrid model, there will be screening for all staff and students, temperature screening, and answering a questionnaire. There will be removal of students or staff with symptoms. There's going to be 6 different entry points for students in the morning to try to deter traffic and to try to keep things as spread out as possible. And there will be 6 different exit points at the end of the school day for the same reasons. We're going to have one-way hallway and traffic flow. So the students aren't crossing each other's paths in that way, and they will learn how that is going to take place during orientation, and there will be signage posted everywhere. You'll be social distancing in your classrooms as much as possible. Okay. There will be we have an updated ventilation system running in the school. There's been information that's been pushed out in recent community emails about that. We'll have regular sanitization when students enter classes. They will have hand sanitizer. We also will be sanitizing desks in between classes. and have increased sanitization coming from our custodial staff as well. Final thing is that no hats or gaiters or bandanas are allowed. You must be wearing a mask, and for safety reasons, unfortunately, right now we cannot add hats to that. Other things that we have in place, we have PPE for all our teachers have been provided with masks and face shields. If students do not have masks, then we have masks that we can provide them with, and those are cloth masks that are reusable that we will be providing for students, and so those are okay as well. Everyone will be wearing masks. That's following our statewide and county guidance that we've been provided. And we are following guidance from the school and district RNs and Jefferson County Public Health with all the information that may take place when a student may need testing or otherwise. You must always be prepared. So students need, and teachers will be as well, but students need to be prepared to switch to full remote learning at any time throughout the school year. That means take your device with you everywhere you go. Never assume that you're going to be coming back to the building the next day. So we must be prepared for that at all times. Teachers will prepare students for this, and students should take their resources home whenever they need and whenever they are outside school. What is access? So normally access is a time to meet with students and get homework done, attend other academic responsibilities, and receive school-wide communication. Okay. Right now, we do not have an access class that is built into the school day. So there is an opportunity, if you look at the bell schedule, for students to request meetings that will be by appointment only if you do want face-to-face meetings with your teacher. In addition, all teachers will be available for virtual office hours. If you look at the bell schedule on the end of Silver Days, you'll see from 11:35 or from 1:35 to 2:50, teachers will have links posted on their Google Classroom so that students know how to get into those office hours so that they can receive additional one-on-one help anytime that they need to during those times. Teachers will always be available for those virtual office hours, and that's the best way to really get help and to communicate directly with teachers when you need him. Some of the frequently asked questions that we do have a standing operating procedure for the quarantine process that you can follow if you look on Jeffco's website if you want further information on that. There is no school supply list in high school. Individual teachers may request things. For now, all things should be delivered electronically, so you should be receiving your materials electronically, and there will not be a school supply list. If you're interested in Chromebook information, again, if you go to chargerpride.com, you can see the one-to-one technology piece and click on that, or our Chromebook information to find out anything about Chromebooks that may be coming out, how you can get them repaired, and our buyback night program. Other questions, we typically run a 7-period schedule, so people were wondering. We are committed to staying in the Burgundy Silver block schedule for the first semester, even if there was a return to 100% in-person or remote learning. So we're going to stay with that through at least the first semester, so you can get used to that Burgundy Silver block schedule with a charger day on Friday. Students are supposed to follow the bell schedule at all times is the biggest thing we want to reiterate. They may have homework assigned at times, but they're just expected to access their 3 or 4 classes a day. For example, following their Burgundy or Silver Day, only on Fridays will students access all 6 classes. So you're just expected to go to those classes at that time and follow that schedule at all times. 100% remote students will not attend a hybrid orientation. They will learn everything they need to continue and navigate class from their online teachers. So that will all take place during class. There will not be in-person time for orientation. If you have other questions, feel free to reach out to those administrators or counselors to try to get further answers on those. I want to thank you for watching this video, and again, reach out. And we're looking forward to the 2020-2021 school year and hopefully getting to see some students again. So thank you.